This Q&A is something that we haven't really talked about too much. How Nesara Gesara is going to work with so many displaced people that have left their homelands immigrating to countries across the world. Is it even possible? Briefly, for those that are not familiar with Nesara Gesara, let me catch you up. In about 2017, we began hearing about Nesara Gesara as being an important part of restoring the world back to prosperity. Nesara is the National Economic Security and Recovery Act, and Gesara is the Global Economic Security and Reformation Act for people across the world. They are economic reforms that aim to eliminate debt, abolish the Federal Reserve, introduce a gold-backed currency, and reform tax systems for economic equity. There is much secrecy around these two acts, and many believe they are baseless conspiracy theories, but they are real concepts. So the question is not whether they exist, but will they ever be utilized to drain the swamp? And I found some interesting parallels. Critics dispute its existence due to the lack of detailed implementation plans, logistical complexities, and absence of official support. But we have seen in the past that this doesn't mean that the white hats already have something waiting in the wings. So like nearly everything in Operation Take Back Our World, it's a wait-and-see thing, augmented by left-wing ridicule calling proponents crazy. If you are anything like me, being called crazy doesn't bother me. I'm not here for a popularity contest. I'm here to find the truth, wherever it takes me, and you should be too. So we are going to take a look at a question from @DeanChapel 1314. Dean, I thank you for your contributions to this channel. Like so many, Dean is looking for answers, and he understands the nature of deception and possibility. So let's take a look at this question regarding Nesara Gesara, and how can it be accomplished with so many people displaced across the world who have fled their homelands and entered other countries illegally?
Do you have an estimate of how many illegals are in the country? I believe the USA must be cleansed before Nesara, by the Pleiadians perhaps, could be the people of Enoch, coming back to Earth.
Last I heard there were about 20 million illegals before the deportations. There's only been about 160,000 deportations so far. That's around 18% of our population is illegal. At one point I heard that when Gesara happens, people could only get their money in their own country, which would basically force the return to their homelands. That sounds like a reasonable strategy since there are still so many still here. The fact that they are doing the self-deport tickets and money makes me think that it's going to be a while yet until Nesara happens. I don't know. I was thinking that Nesara could come in the form of multiple different payments or incentives rather than a big check at once. Like it could be Social Security increases first. Then, months later, Doge saving disbursements could come. Then, even months later, refunds on illegal interest could be dispersed to the people. So don't expect Nesara to occur overnight. We never were really told how anything would happen, and people just assumed it would be all at once. For this reason, I'm not sure the cleanse must be complete for us to start receiving payments under Nesara. People who aren't in their country of citizenship will not be able to receive true compensation and opportunity that is promised by Nesara Gesara. By definition, an insurrection is occurring on our southern border, which is defined as a violent uprising or rebellion against an authority or government. Capitol Police had real bullets and killed Ashley Babbitt, an American citizen, but these illegal insurrectionists are setting fires and blatantly causing mass destruction of personal property, but they are being battled with plastic bullets and smoke bombs. What do you make of this difference in how these illegals are being handled with kid gloves? This dilemma with the immigrants does require the National Guard, regardless of what the talking heads are saying. The peaceful protests elevated last night, and it's gotten pretty bad in Los Angeles. Liberal entities are creating a civil war in California, likely with deep state money. Many thousands of masked illegals and sympathizers have become violent, assaulting police and screaming that the land is stolen land from Mexico, and they are taking it back. These people are starting fires, destroying police vehicles, and are clearly breaking the law, yet nobody is getting arrested. This is an invasion on our land and justifies a military response from what I've seen. I pray that any people who are here illegally, for the right reasons, will stay away from California if you can. Arrests will likely occur soon, and that will seal your fate if you truly plan to be in the U.S. legally someday. These violent protests are proving why they need deported. Don't be drawn into this Soros-funded crime. The only thing that is going to fix this violence is massive arrests and deportations, and it has elevated to the point of military intervention since Gavin Newsom has not stopped it. Before we move on, let me ask you to hit the like button, share the videos, and comment. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell for notifications of new videos so you don't have to check. I now have multiple ways that you can further support the channel, including the shop button, memberships, super thanks tips, and now my book, which is a natural medicine remedy reference book. So you can look up your condition and find options to treat it without medicine. Of course, if you have complicated medical conditions, you should always work with your healthcare provider. The question regarding who is going to help us cleanse the earth is a very good question, but many will not like the answer. Nesara Gesara and what we are going through right now are local affairs from a galactic standpoint. The Federation or its members don't get too involved in fixing our planetary issues. They are prohibited from particular interference with our affairs by the Prime Directive. I will link that video at the end and in the description. We have been told that the Nordics will be assisting with first contact, and I am aware of one-on-one consultations, which are more like friendships with certain extraterrestrials. However, I understand that their involvement in cleansing the earth of earthly threats is minimal. This is an evolution of mankind, and as with any growth, it's something that only we can do. I truly believe that the technology will not be released until the corporate interests no longer have control. This is based on Ardana's message as well as logic when dealing with such powerful technology. I will also link the video of Ardana's first message. I'm sure there's some sort of performance agreement in place before the Federation completely released the technology, which I do believe is Pleiadian. Regarding who is going to cleanse the earth, the strongest guidance I have seen is the Hopi prophecy of the man in the red hat, and I believe that is Trump. He is clearly the one to lead the cleansing in my mind. There is question in the prophecy, however, whether the man in the red hat will also be the one to usher in the golden age. I hope it's President Trump, but I don't have a feel on it because we simply don't have a timeline for anything. I do have 2 different videos on this prophecy that you might want to review that will also be linked. If the video you're looking for isn't at the end, it will be in the description. This is very much a puzzle, and the more pieces you have, the clearer and less frightening this will all become. So to wrap this up, despite ICE efforts to remove illegal immigrants, it is estimated that there is still almost 20 million people in this country illegally. Previous narratives have included that Nesara Gesara will force illegal immigrants to return home to receive the impending distribution of wealth. As I said, many have assumed that Nesara Gesara will be one big dump of money to the people. I don't believe that is going to be the case. The way this is unfolding supports a slower release of money in multiple distributions for various types of retributions. So anything is possible. Nothing is given, and we have our own cleansing of our minds, our bodies, and our spirits to prepare for the impending golden age. So please use this time wisely.